Is it just me, or in the last couple of months has every save felt a bit too similar? I mean, I have constantly been trying to spice things up with the creation of blueprint rebuilds, making a Super League, and even trying to recreate Jamie Vardy's career, and I think I might have another challenge, and I promise you, this was really enjoyable. And this is called the £5 billion challenge. Now, the objective is simple. You need to generate £5 billion in transfer fee profit as quickly as possible. And there are just 3 rules you have to follow throughout this save. And rule number 1 is you can't sign anyone through a free agent deal or pre-contract agreement. Every player you sign must be signed with a transfer fee. Rule number 2, you are not allowed to sign players using the youth academy. You are allowed to sign generated players from other teams, but your youth academy is completely off limits for this challenge. And finally, rule number 3, all transfers must be completed in the summer transfer window. This means you have just 2 months of the year to create your squad for the season, and once the deadline slams shut, you have to play out the season with that team. Now, I just wanted to jump in and say thank you so much for the love on the channel. We have hit 1,000 subscribers. You guys have been crazy from the moment I started uploading in November. I can't believe we're here already, but your love, support, your comments, your subs have all helped to do that massively. So thank you so much. I wanted to put out a video that took a lot of time and effort to really repay you guys for the crazy amount of support you've put in. That's exactly what this video is, and there's a little twist at the end just to make it a little bit more special. But once again, I just want to say thank you. We will get straight back into the video, but you guys are absolute legends. And so we got straight to it. We tried to sell as many players as we can to generate money to bring players in. So Gregor Kobel has left for 105 million. Julian Brandt has left for 35 million. Marcel Sabitzer goes to Barcelona for 33 million. Emre Can has left for 28 million. Nicolas Schuler leaves for 25 million. And Remy Bensebaini leaves for 19 million, concluding all of our transfer fees coming in this summer. And then we've brought in a lot of young new talents to start growing so we can sell them on for major profit later. So Lamine Yamal has come in for 139 million. He's going to be the star at the moment. Marco Carnesecchi comes in for 38 million to replace Kobel. Fermin Lopez comes in as our number 10 for 28 million. Giorgio Scalvini comes in for 27 million. Alexander Pavlovic comes in from Bayern for 26 million pounds. And Usame Sahraoui comes in for 15 million to help us fill out our squad. And then finally, we've just got some loans out. So Julian Duranville, Cole Campbell, Tyler Meiser, and Almagura Kabar have all gone out to go and gain some more experience. And so that means that we've sold 245 million pounds worth of players, spent 273 million's worth, meaning we actually now need £5 billion and 28 million pounds to complete this challenge. And so this is the team full of stacked talent. The star man is of course Lamine Yamal. We're going to try and get him to 304 million worth of a player so we can sell him on for a huge profit. But this team's unbelievable, and I think they'll be brilliant for the rest of the season. Moving on with the season, the Ballon d'Or winner for the first season in this career mode is Erling Haaland, as we always expect. 2024 goes to the Norwegian. And then for the first half of the season, we've had the Champions League group stages where we've finished 11th. We've got Benfica in the playoff round now as we try to book our place in the round of 16. And thankfully we do enough as we beat Benfica 2-1 across both legs, coming back in the second leg. Unbelievable work. Now we're in the round of 16. But sadly, Real Madrid knocked us out, beating us 5-3 on aggregate in the quarterfinals. So that's the end of our European journey, at least for the first season. And so we've jumped forward to the end of the season where we've picked up the Bundesliga title, taking home the German championship, beating Leverkusen and Munich. Our first year in charge has been an unbelievable success. And we're also going through a bit of a rebuild right now, so it's so impressive we've done so well. It makes me very happy and excited for the future. And it's also so good to see 2 of our players in the top scorers list, both Maximilian Bayer But also Lamine Yamal, he takes home the Golden Boot with 26 goals this year. What a signing he's been. Of course he was going to be electric. He's an absolute joy to behold. And his performances were enough to go home with the Player of the Season award. He has absolutely dominated the Bundesliga this season. I'm absolutely in love with this guy, and we've only had him for a season. Now, when it comes to the assists, the top assist leader was Jamal Musiala. He takes away the award as he smashed it with 13 this season. And then when it comes to the Golden Glove, our new replacement for Kobel has taken it home with 13 clean sheets this year, beating out his predecessor. That's an unbelievable replacement. He's absolutely smashed it. And now to wrap up the season, the final thing to do is go through the other competitions. So Wolfsburg beat Hoffenheim to take away the DFB Pokal this season. Real Madrid beat Bayern 2-1 to take home the Champions League. Galatasaray beat Real Sociedad 2-1 as they win the Europa League final. And Chelsea beat Copenhagen 3-1, taking home the Conference League. But hey, that is the end of season 1. I am very happy with that so far. We've won a trophy. A piece of silverware in the first year was not expected, so we'll take that and move on. But let's jump into season 2 now. There's a lot to try and get done, and let's hope there's more silverware on the way. So here we are in season 2, and it is a crazy window. Firstly, we've sold Nico Schlotterbeck for 118 million. Serhu Guirassy has left for 90 million. Valdemar Anton has left for 30 million. Julian Ryerson has gone out for 29 million. Daniel Svensson has gone out for 29 million as well. Sebastian Haller leaves for 13 million, and Pascal Gross leaves for 2 million pounds. We then picked up an absolute school of people. Dean Huijsen has come in for 40 million. Jarell Hatto, 35 million pounds. Martin Fernandez, 14 million. Cesar Huerta, 12 million pounds for the winger. Joe Bellingham, we've got that deal done for 11 million. Tanner Tessman has come in for 9.5 million. Radu Dragusan comes in for 9.5 million as well. Rodrigo Mora comes in for 8.5 million. Michael Kayode comes in for 8 million pounds. El Hadji Malik Doof comes in for 8 million. Luka Vuskovic comes in for 4.5 million. Sver Houseth Naipan comes in for 4 million. Mohamed Bamba comes in for 3.5 million. And finally, Jorthi Mokio comes in for 2 million pounds, confirming all of our signings for this summer. And so what that means is we've sold 311 million pounds worth of talent, spent 169.5 million, which leaves us with 141.5 million pounds worth of profit, which when taken off the target amount means we have 4,886,500,000 to go. Still a big ask, but the foundations are now laid and we're ready to go into this season. And then we've loaned out a lot of our young talents, so Bino Gittins, Mora, Duranville, Ramage, Naipan, Vuskovic, Kabar, Mokio, Vatien, Meiser, Bellingham, and Benkara have all gone out for the season as they seek first team action and a chance to grow their ability. And so this is our squad going into season 2. It's absolutely stacked full of talent. We're slowly growing everyone to being as good as we can so we can then offload them. Hopefully we'll get a nice cycle of talent throughout this save. But this squad is absolutely incredible. Now for 2025, the Ballon d'Or winner was Lamine Yamal. We have a Ballon d'Or winner, the first in this save. I hope there will be a lot more throughout, but that's unbelievable, making him the youngest Ballon d'Or winner ever. Now, at the halfway stage of the season, that means we've completed the group stage of the Champions League, and this time round, we've gotten through automatically. 8 games played, 15 points. We finish in 7th. We'll go straight into the round of 16. That makes me very happy. And so in the quarterfinals, we have Napoli, and over 2 legs we've beaten them, coming out as winners and going through to the quarterfinals. That is a great result. Who will we have next? And so our next challenge is AC Milan, and we knocked them out as well. 3-0 on aggregate. We smashed them in the first leg and it was enough to put us through. This is an unbelievable journey. We're now in the semi-finals. And so it's PSG up next, who we beat 6-5 on aggregate. We have won in the semi-finals, booking a spot in the final two. Can we win this trophy? We're right in contention. And before we get to the Champions League, we have the league to conclude, and we've finished it top again. Back-to-back champions. We're asserting our dominance over Bayern Munich, finally turning the tables in German football. What a moment. That's 2 major trophies already. And we're not done there. We have the DFB Pokal. We've beaten Bayern Munich, taking home another trophy. That's a domestic double this season. Absolutely smashed it. And now we have the Champions League as well. The treble is on. And so we went into the Champions League final, and Lamine Yamal was the hero. An unbelievable strike to take the lead in off the post. What a worldie that is. That's an absolutely beautiful strike. And he continued to just flourish throughout the game. The ball was switched out to him. His touch was unbelievable to get himself moving forward. Roma can handle him. They stepped off him. He turned them inside and out before slotting home for a nice double. Lamine Yamal is making this his final. Pereira did try to get them back into it late in the second half with a nice chip, but that was all she wrote. We are the champions of Europe, confirming a treble this season. What a year this has been. I can't believe it. And I mean, look at how the players have performed. You can see why we smashed the treble. Yamal, 32 and 15, 30 and 10 for Adeyemi. Bayer, 26 and 8. Fermin, 31 contributions. And the Metcha smashed it as well. Our team has performed unbelievably, and we've taken absolutely everything home that we can. But when you look at the rest of the league, Harry Kane did take away the golden boot. Adeyemi and Bayer were close, but just not able to quite pip them to that title. The assist leader was Yamal and Ekitike, as they had 11 assists each. They smashed it this season. I think we're going to have to sell Yamal, so I'm going to really miss him. And Karnaseki has absolutely smashed the golden glove. 17 clean sheets. The Italian takes it home. He's absolutely destroyed the Bundesliga. Another player we'll probably be saying goodbye to. He's been an absolute rock for us. Now, the only other thing to do is go through all the competition, so we actually won a Super Cup as well. So in theory, that's a quadruple. That's absolutely unbelievable. The Europa League went to Chelsea as they beat Liverpool 2-0 in the final in that one. And Newcastle win the Conference League, beating Victoria Pleasant 3-0 in there, ending our season. And what a year it's been. And so as we open up season 3, there's a lot of work to do in the window, but I'm very happy with what we've done. Marco Karnaseki left for 175 million. Karim Adeyemi left for 165 million. Felix Nemecha has left for 150 million. And Maximilian Bayer has left for 110 million, meaning we have got out only 4 players, but accrued £600 million in sales. We've then brought in a few new players. So Joao Santos comes in for 6 million as a backup goalkeeper. Archie Gray comes in for 30 million, and he will be our future holding midfielder. Arthur Vermeeren comes in for 39 million, and he will replace Felix Nemecha in midfield. Guilherme Restes comes in for 46 million, and he'll be our new starting goalkeeper. And then we've signed Endrick for 50 million from Real Madrid. He's an absolute superstar, but he's not even going to be starting. We've signed Samu for 60 million. He'll be our starting player, and we'll look to get Endrick out on loan for a season or 2. And then for the loans, everything is pretty much the same, except Archie Gray has gone out and Endrick has gone out, but we'll be keeping Bino Gittins for the season, as he'll be our replacement for Adeyemi. And so for season 3, we've sold £600 million worth of talent, spent 231 million, meaning we're left with 369 million as our profit margin. And so after that, the target is left at 4,517,000,000 and 500,000 as our target. We are well on our way now. We're making money very quickly. And so this is the squad for season 3. We're in a bit of a rebuild season with Gittins, Vermeeren, Samu and Restes coming in. We've kept Jamal. We didn't get the offers we wanted for him, so we're going to hold out until that happens. But it's an unbelievable squad. Even though it's a rebuild, this squad is more than capable of doing something incredible this season. Now, during that transfer window, we actually won the Super Cup, beating Bayern on penalties after a 3-3 game. That's our first trophy of the season. But we did miss out on the UEFA Super Cup. Chelsea pipped us to it, beating us 3-1. So that's another trophy that's gone a begging. And so for the second season in a row, the Ballon d'Or ended up going to Lamine Yamal again. He continues to dominate world football. I love seeing so many Ballon d'Or cutscenes. This guy has been unbelievable for us. I am going to really miss him when he ends up leaving. Now, although we've slightly rebuilt this season, we're still smashing it in the Champions League. We're here on 18 points after 8 games, third in the table, automatically through to the round of 16. So I'm more than happy with this right now. I actually think we're in a really good position to challenge for this trophy once again. But sadly, our fight to retain the Champions League did end in the round of 16 as Man City beat us 3-1 on aggregate. They were just too much for us. If we had our squad from last year, I'm sure we would have done better. And the rest of the season sort of followed that story. We finished second in the Bundesliga. We weren't able to bring home a trifecta of titles. 5 points off Bayern Munich. They claim it back. This is going to be a really hard-fought battle between us, but I'm really enjoying it. And when you look here, you can see there is a bit of a drop-off in terms of the output. There are still incredible numbers for some players like Lamine Yamal, Samu, Gittins. Vermeeren done really well with his assist record, but apart from that, we've definitely dropped off a little bit and need a little bit more going forward next season to have a chance at winning those titles back. But Lamine Yamal did pick up the golden boot, 23 goals this season, 18 for Samu as well. They've absolutely smashed it. And then Vermeeren and Yamal picked up the joint top assist award, taking home 11 assists each. That's unbelievable. And between the goals and assists, it was enough to see Lamine Yamal take away the Player of the Season award. He's absolutely dominated this season. And then just to return to the Golden Glove, Galachi and Kobel are joint Golden Glove winners with 8. Restes finished on 7. He was so close to claiming it, but sadly, it wasn't enough this season. But the final thing to do is look through all the other competitions. So Leverkusen actually beat Bayern Munich to win the DFB Pokal this season. The Champions League went to Barca as they played Fenerbahce in the final. They won it 2-0 in the end. Fulham won the Europa League, beating Newcastle 2-1 in that one. And the Conference League went to Atalanta as they beat Manchester United 2-1, ending yet another season. A bit of a sadder season than before, but we're still happy, we're still growing, and we've made major progress on that £5 billion target. So going into season 4, there wasn't a lot of movement, but it was big nonetheless. Salih Ozcan left for 6.3 million, Dean Huijsen left for 130 million, Fermin Lopez leaves for 135 million, and Lamine Yamal does end up leaving to Chelsea for 320 million pounds. He's going to be a major loss for us. But we've brought in some young talent that can replace him. Giovanni Quenda comes in for 45 million pounds. Castello Luqueba comes in to fill in the defence for 44 million. And Matteo Prati comes in as a rotational holding mid for 16.2 million pounds, including our paid business for this summer. And then when it comes to the loan list, this is how it looks. Samu, the big name, being on there this year. He didn't grow at all last year, so we need him to go and get some progress elsewhere. And then Endrick will come in and be our main number 9. And so what that means is we've sold £591.3 million worth of talent, spent 105.2 million, meaning we're left with a profit of 486.1 million this summer, leaving us with a target amount of £4,031,400,000. So we're right on track now, and we're really starting to make good money. And so this is the squad for season 4. Bellingham does come in. We're going to give him a chance in the number 10. We've got some incredible talent all over the pitch. We've got players lined up for when players leave. We're in a really good position, but I'm really excited to see what we can do this season. Now we're without Yamal. It's sad to see, but Lamine Yamal is the Ballon d'Or winner again. Obviously got it for most of the season with us, so we kind of can take this as a third Ballon d'Or, but I'm not going to. But Lamine Yamal 2027, he's the best player in the world yet again. But back to us, here we are at the halfway stage. We're 15th in the Champions League group stage, which we will take. We're going through a bit of a rebuild period. A lot of big talent has left, so we're struggling there. But this is still good. We're into the playoff, and we'll be playing Besiktas for a place in the round of 16. And when it comes to that playoff, we absolutely smashed them. 5-2 across both legs. We'll absolutely take that. putting us finally into the round of 16. But sadly, our journey does end in the round of 16. We go out to Barcelona on penalties. It went down to the wire, but sadly, it just tipped their way. And so we fast forward to the end of the season now, and we have won the Bundesliga again. It went right down to the wire with one on goal difference beating Leverkusen. 75 points is all it took this season, but we come out as champions and claim our third Bundesliga title. And to be fair, I'm very surprised we've won the title based on the goals we've scored. It's not a crazy year by any means. Gittins, Endrick, Quenda and Bellingham were the star players, as you'd expect. But a great year for Pavlovic as well, but also Mora on loan, 7 Champions League goals. That's an incredible season. And when you look at how our players performed against the rest of the league, Gittins won the Golden Boot, but it was shared with our ex-striker Maximilian Bayer. The top assist award goes to Alexander Pavlovic. He smashed it this season with 10. And then the Golden Glove goes to Bart Verbruggen with 13 clean sheets for Leipzig. Restes wasn't too far away with 10. He still had a fantastic year, but hopefully he can step up next year and take home this award. But the final thing to do is look through all the other competitions. So Bayern beat Leverkusen 1-0 to win the DFB Pokal. Rodrigo Mora actually won the Champions League as AC Milan beat Atletico Madrid 2-1 in the final. Aston Villa beat Ferencváros 2-0 in the Europa League, taking home a trophy. And Nice beat Spurs on penalty, taking home the Conference League, ending another season. A really good year in my opinion. We've made some great progress and now we'll be able to sell on some players for even more profit. So here we are at season 5 and we're doing so well so far. We're trying so hard to get to that 5 billion. We've made major inroads this season. So Giorgio Scalvini is left for 230 million. Alexander Pavlovic is left for 220 million. Jamie Bino Gittins leaves for 175 million. Jarell Hatto is left for 130 million. And Samu has left for 120 million, meaning we've made 875 million from these 5-player sales. We've then invested some of our money back in, so Pau Kabassi is coming for 68 million. Charlampos Kostolos comes in for 37 million. Miles Lewis-Skelly will be our new left back at 30 million pounds. And then we've made 3 trade deals for Alex Jimenez for Michael Kayode, Caleb Wiley for El Hadji Malek Diouf, and Stefan Bacecic comes in for Tanner Tessman. All of them were just straight swap deals, no transfer fee involved. And so for season 5, these are our loans out. A few of these will be making the team soon, I'm sure. We need one more move for them to make them ready for first team action. And so for this window, we've sold 875 million, bought 135 million, meaning a profit of 740 million has been made, leaving a new target of 3,291,400,000. That is a major cutout. What a window it has been. And so for season 5, this is the squad. There are some stacked players like Lukeba, Restes and Endrick, but also those new players coming in. Lewis Skelly, Gray comes from the loan list, and so does Duranville. We're bringing in those young talents now, giving them a chance, so I'm excited to see what they can do this season. Now, in this window, we did actually pick up a Super Cup. We beat Bayern 2-1 to take home another trophy. And for the Ballon d'Or, our ex-player Bino Gittins has won it. 2028 goes to the Englishman. We've turned him into an absolute player, and now he's reaping the benefits. The best player in the world. I think this one is kind of down to us. But back to our season, we've finished 3rd in the Champions League group stage, meaning we'll go straight into the knockouts. No playoffs this year, which I absolutely love. But we've destroyed it. Just Atletico Madrid and Real Betis have finished ahead of us. Now, in the round of 16, we had Real Madrid, who we pushed aside with a nice 5-3 aggregate win. That's a brilliant one and puts us into the quarterfinals. And when it came to the quarterfinals, Juventus dumped us out 2-1 on aggregate. They beat us in extra time. That is such a shame. I thought we had a real chance at going for our second UCL. But after the upset of the Champions League, we dusted off our boots, got going again in the league, and we won by 5 points. Smashed it again. Another Bundesliga title. Vermeeren is the man lifting it. Another great season. It doesn't matter how much we change our team, we continue to just find success. And when we look at how the squad performed, we had a few more standouts this year, unlike last season. Duranville, Endrick, Quenda all destroyed it. Vermeeren had a good amount of assists from holding mid. I am very happy with this. The team has played so well, and they have absolutely come together to make something happen for us. I mean, look here. Endrick has shared the golden boot with Delinga. Duranville wasn't too far off with 20. We've had a fantastic year, and our attacking output has been incredible. The top assist award does go to Quenda, who picked up 13 this season. He has absolutely smashed it throughout the entire season. And finally, Restes picks up that golden glove, 15 clean sheets, an incredible year for our French goalkeeper. We have smashed it on all areas. What a season. But the final thing to do is look through the competition. So Stuttgart actually beat Leipzig to win the DFB Pokal this season. Inter Milan ended up winning the Champions League, beating Real Betis 2-1 in the final. Newcastle beat Villarreal 2-1 as they win the Europa League. And Lyon beat Hoffenheim 3-1, taking home the Conference League, ending season 5, another great season under our belt. Hello and welcome to season 6. We are here with a big transfer window once again. So Marcel Lotka has left for 1 million. Kiel Votchen has left for 6 million. Cole Campbell has left for 26 million. Joe Bellingham has left for 135 million. Guillaume Restes leaves for 180 million. And Giovanni Quenda has left for 200 million, bringing in a major amount of money for the team right now. We've then invested into a lot of young talent to be loaned out. So Ethan Nwaneri comes in for 69 million. Asan Oudriogu comes in for 50 million. Mike Penders comes in for 40 million pounds. Chris Rigg comes in for 38 million pounds. Mikey Moore comes in for 35 million. And Christian Law comes in for 8 million pounds, confirming our transfer window at its end. And then when it came to the loan list, it's very similar to last year. Obviously, we've sold Votchen and Campbell. They won't be involved, but we have Rigg, Moore and Uadriogo come in, and they'll go out and get some more experience this summer. And so in season 6, we sold £548 million worth of talent, bought £240 million worth, leaving a profit of £308 million, meaning our new target is £2,983,400,000. We are doing so well. And so this is our squad for season 6. We've kept some of our big players like Endrick, Lukeba and Kabasi. They're still growing, but brought in a lot of new talent. I'm very excited to see what we can do this season. And then during the transfer window, we had a Super Cup game against Stuttgart, which we lost 3-1. They take home the trophy. I really think we should be beating them. But we move on with the season. The first thing to look at is the 2029 Ballon d'Or winner, and it's Lamine Yamal again. I miss him so much. I want him back in the team, but he's just way too expensive, and we need to keep going on and selling our talent. But we've rushed through to January, and here we are with the Champions League group stage concluded. We finished 8th, which is enough to go through automatically. We will find our way into the round of 16 now. That's the perfect way we wanted the first half of the season to go. And in the round of 16, we ended up getting Barcelona, who would beat 4-2 on aggregate. We go through to the next round in the quarterfinals. Great way to start off. This is a big opponent. And the quarterfinals was another tough opponent. We had Juventus. It had to go to extra time, but we dispatched them in the end, 5-3 on aggregate, putting us into the final 4 now. Could this be a year we get the Champions League once again? And in the semi-finals, we took down Atletico Madrid. We came from behind in the second leg, putting us through to the final. We now have a chance at our second Champions League. Can we go and do that at the end of this season? And on top of that success in the Champions League, we've won the Bundesliga again. We were 11 points clear by the end of it. We've smashed everyone. Another title in the bag. We are dominating football right now. And so we jumped into the Champions League final. And Inter actually took the lead through Barcola in the 76th minute, smashing it into the top corner. But not 5 minutes later, we got straight back into it as Bacecic found it into Reina. He slammed it home as well. This meant it went all the way to extra time, and it was down to Duranville to find Endrick with a ball into the corridor of uncertainty. He slotted home, which was enough for us to become European champions for a second time. This is an incredible game, an incredible moment, and now we're back on top of world football. And I mean, this just sums up a great season. Duranville, Endrick, and Nwaneri were fantastic. Mora from the 10 was brilliant. Mokoku done brilliantly as a substitute striker. Everyone has come together. We've absolutely dominated, and the Bundesliga and Champions League are now ours. And the Ransville output this season has been unbelievable. He's won the Golden Boot with 20 goals this season, pipping everyone. What a year for the Belgian. The top assist award went to Xavi Simons with 14 this year for Leipzig. He's absolutely dominated. And then the Golden Glove goes to our ex-keeper Gregor Kobel. 11 clean sheets for Bayern. Penders wasn't far off with 9, but sadly, it goes to the Swissman. And so finally, it's the time to look at all the other competitions. So Frankfurt have actually won the DFB Pokal, beating Bayern 3-1 in the final. The Europa League went to Napoli as they beat Sociedad 4-2 in that one. And the Conference League goes to Sparta Praha, taking home a 2-0 win over Ghent, confirming the end of another season. And we are getting so much closer to completing our goal. So here we are in season 7, and things went a bit crazy this window. Firstly, we sold Endrick for £230 million, Arthur Vermeeren for £190 million, Martin Fernandez has left for £145 million, Castello Lucaba leaves for £140 million, and Diane Ramage leaves for £16 million, concluding our outgoings this summer. And then we've brought in a lot of new talent and our first batch of generated players. So Mats Klein comes in for £50 million, Sung-Soo Yang comes in for £46 million, Lino Sandoval comes in for £40 million, Giorgio Ferrari comes in for £38 million, Kamada comes in for £38 million as well, Gaviro Reed for £32.6 million, Edgar Barron for £26 million, Oya Palacios for £24 million, and then Edwin Atzbo for Huerta in a complete swap, and Philippe Rozga for Sharawi in a complete swap as well. And so this is the loan list. A lot of the young talents have gone out. The new generated players have gone to get some experience. They're there for when we sell on our current stock, but we're in a really good place now. And after a big spend this season, we're still making profit. And so for season 7, we've sold £721 million worth of talent, spent £294.6 million, leaving a profit of £426.4 million, which leaves us a new target of £2,557 million. And so for season 7, this is how we line up. Barron is a long way from being a top talent. Voskovic now comes in, Reed as well, and also Aspo plays because Duranville's picked a season-long injury up, so hopefully he can fill the gap well. Now, during that window, we actually beat Frankfurt and took home the Super Cup this season, and then done the same versus Napoli in the UEFA Super Cup, a 2-1 win. Means we bring home a brand new trophy. And then for 2023, the Ballon d'Or, of course, goes to Endrick. Every time we seem to sell someone, they pick up this award. We are a menace to the whole of football, creating absolute superstars absolutely everywhere. And then when it comes to the league table for the group stages of the Champions League, we finished 3rd. We smashed it this season, only missing out on goal difference. But what a start this is. I'm surprised considering how many players are below sort of 85 rated. But sadly, in the round of 16, we do suffer a little bit of an upset. Porto knock us out. I'd say this is the first upset of us going out. Every time we've gone out, I'd say it's a fair reason why in terms of the opposition we're playing. But this time, our Champions League run is done. And our weak performance in the Champions League sort of translated to the league. We finished 9 points off Leipzig, who are now the Bundesliga champions. We finished 3rd this season. We have a lot less talent this year, so it's fairly okay and it's understandable. We want to be back up there as soon as possible and taking silverware of the likes of Leipzig. And when you look at the squad, I mean, Stulas done really well with 29 and 7, Nwaneri 23 and 8. Ospo stepped in pretty well for Duranville, 15 contributions this year, and then Gray and Mora really stood out from midfield as well. We've done pretty well this season. There's a lot of work to do. We need to be back in there with the Champions League and the league. Hopefully that happens straight away. And I mean, Castulas had a pretty decent year, Nwaneri as well, but the Golden Boot does go to Alexander Isak, 23 goals this season. The Leverkusen man takes away the Golden Boot. The top assist award goes to Jamal Musiala, 9 for Bayern Munich. He smashed it this year. And then the Golden Glove is shared between Antonio Silva and Jan Oblak. 2 of our keepers make the list. Penders must have had an injury. 7 for Quao Santos and 6 for Mike Penders. That's very impressive. But here we are, the roundup of the season. The DFB Pokal goes to Freiburg. They beat Mainz 4-1 to take home that domestic cup. Real Madrid beat Frankfurt 2-1 to take home the Champions League this year. The Europa League goes to Manchester United. They beat Benfica 3-0 in that one. And then the Conference League goes to Brentford, a new team there. They beat Last 2-0, ending the season. And what a terrible year it's been overall. But we're in that rebuild period, so hopefully season 8 is a bit better. And so here we are in season 8, and this is the biggest selling window yet. We have sold Almagura Kabar for 38 million, Guevara Reed for 55 million, Julian Duranville for 85 million, Mike Penders leaves for 110 million, Miles Lewis Skelly is out for 125 million, Asan Uadriogo leaves for 130 million, Rodrigo Mora leaves for 150 million, Pau Kabasi leaves for 160 million, Ethan Nwaneri leaves for 170 million, and Archie Gray leaves for 180 million. That makes it the biggest selling window so far. We have then just brought in 4 players, so Javi Varela comes in for 127 million to be our new goalkeeper, Attila Yilmaz comes in at 68 million to be our new holding mid, and Fawad Ali comes in for 63 million operating as our new left back, as well as Musa Samanu, who we've done a straight swap for using Mohamed Bamba. And so the loan list only consists of 6 players this year. These guys are going to go out and get some more experience. We'll probably need to bulk this up though next season. And so this window we've sold £1.203 billion worth of talent, spent 258 million, leaving a profit of 945 million, and that leaves us with a target of just 1.612 billion for the rest of this save. And so this is the team for season 8. We've made a major cut of the talent and we're going to rebuild again, but we've made serious moves with the financials, so I'm okay with that, and we're still on a good path. Now for 2031, someone that hasn't been through Borussia Dortmund has won the Ballon d'Or. This time it goes to Vinicius Jr. He takes over. I wonder when we'll have another Ballon d'Or winner back on the podium. But when we push forward to the Champions League, somehow we've finished second. Even though we've got rid of most of our talent and regrowing our squad, we finished second in the group stage. I'll absolutely take that. What a first half of the season. But even though we've done well in the group stage, sadly we're out in the round of 16 versus City. They smashed us 4-1 over both legs. We really didn't put up a fight. And now we're out of the Champions League. But where we overachieved in the Champions League, we didn't really do that in the league. We did finish second, which isn't bad, but we're 18 points off Bayern. It feels like some normality is returning to the Bundesliga, and we need to change that as soon as possible. And when you look at the top performers this year, we've done pretty well. It was a shame we couldn't do more in the league, but Kustalas, Yang, Naipan and Moore were absolutely incredible. Skovic from centre-back picked up 7 goals. That's crazy, but it's a good team. We're in a good place. What we sell next season, I don't know yet, but I'm still excited, and I think we'll be able to challenge. And that goal output from Kustalas actually earned him the Golden Boot. He finished with 21 goals this season. Yang was in third with 17. The top assist award went to Mikey Moore. He picked up 10 this season, beating Pau Kabasi, our ex-centre-back. He got 9. That's crazy. And then it's Kobel again. 11 clean sheets. He wins the Golden Glove for Bayern Munich. Varela wasn't far off with 8. But sadly, he just couldn't quite get it over the line. But let's just finish this season by recapping it with the trophy winners. So Union Berlin beat RB Leipzig 3-1 to take home the DFB Pokal. The Champions League ended up going to PSG as they beat Real Madrid after a 4-4 final. It went all the way to penalties. The Europa League goes to Bayern. They beat Rangers 2-1, taking home that competition. And the Conference League goes to Fulham, beating Royal Antwerp in the final. ending another season. This was a bit of a drop-off, but we expected that with the change of squad. But let's go again next season and see if we can challenge. And so for season 9, there was a lot more outgoings. Charalampos Koustalas leaves for 260 million. Javi Varela leaves for 180.5 million. Sver Houseth Naipan leaves for 165.5 million. Kamada leaves for 63 million pounds. Edgar Barron leaves for 34 million. And Radu Dragusan leaves for 13 million, concluding our outgoings this summer. And then we've signed Fabio Duarte for 30 million. Jan Wagner for 32 million. Martin Ferreira for 35 million. Dominic Werner for 37 million. Fabrice Ferrari will become our new holding mid for 38 million. And we have a new striker in Michael Kemp, 110 million pounds for the Englishman. And that will conclude our business for this window. And then for the loans, it's just 4 out this season. We weren't able to get Duarte and Ferreira out before the window, so sadly they're stuck with us. But these 4 will go out and earn some game time. And so in season 9, we've sold 716 million pounds worth of talent, spent 282 million, leaving a profit of 434 million. So our new target is 1,178 million. It is within our grasp now. And so this is the squad for season 9. It's better in some places and worse in others than last season, but we're still growing, we're making money, so we're on the right path. So let's jump into the season, see what we can do, and hopefully there's a trophy in store. And then for 2032, the Ballon d'Or goes to Vinicius Jr. He wins it back-to-back. He is now starting to dominate world football. And so we push to the halfway stage, and once again, we've gone through in third. We've smashed the group stage of the Champions League. Only Frankfurt and Newcastle ahead of us. We're right up there and one of the teams to beat. And so in the round of 16, we have BSC Young Boys. We beat them 5-3 on aggregate, putting ourselves into the quarterfinals. This is a great start to the knockout rounds. And then in the quarterfinal, we came up against our biggest rivals, Bayern Munich, and we knocked them out on penalties. We brought it back in the second leg, took them out with 2-1 on the penalties. That's crazy. But we're now through to the semi-finals. And then we book our place in the final as we draw in the second leg. We're 1-0 up from the first leg. We are through to our 3rd Champions League final. Can we claim our 3rd title? But before we get towards the Champions League final, we have the league to deal with. We finished 2nd again, 9 points adrift this time. Munich still too much for us. We've sold too many of our good players to them, and they're causing a serious problem. But in this season, we did beat Leverkusen 4-3. We took home the DFB Pokal. It's only the 2nd time it's happened in 9 seasons. We love getting another piece of silverware, so this has been unbelievable. And so we jumped into the Champions League final, and the first goal was a peach. Kemp with an unbelievable volley to take the lead. What a strike that is. And things just went even better as Rick danced his way through, got fouled in the box, and of course, Kemp was going to step up and double the lead. We're now 2-0 up, completely in control. What a situation to be in. But Real Madrid were always going to fight back. Mbappe fought his way through, smashed it into the bottom corner, bringing it back to just a 1-goal deficit. Could they really rally here? And yes, they can. A beautiful play to release Camavinga. He slots home. It's now 2-2. The lead is gone. But a brilliant piece of work down the side finds it open for Kemp, who can complete his hat-trick. That's now 3-2. That will be enough to seal the European Championship for Dortmund. We are now 3 times champions, and we are dominating world football again. This squad is absolutely insane. And Kemp, he ran the show. He's done that all season as well. 34 goals and 4 assists. Yang with 33 contributions. Rigg smashed it as well with over 30 contributions. Moore, Vuskovic, Prati, everyone contributed. What a squad this is. They've really stepped up this season. And I mean, Kemp's goal tally was not enough for him to win the Golden Boot. That went to Julian Alvarez with 22 this season. The top assist award went to an ex-player, Endrick for Bayern Munich. He picked up 14 this season. And then the Golden Glove went to Gregor Kobel again. The player that we got rid of in the first season has been smashing it for Bayern. 9 clean sheets. he wins the Golden Glove. And so the final thing to do is go through the other competitions. The Europa League went to AC Milan. They beat Valencia 2-0 in that one. And then the Conference League went to Leeds. That's a really interesting one. They beat RB Leipzig 2-1. I wouldn't expect to see that. I love that in this save. But that is it for this season. A great season overall. We want to get back to challenging for the league, but Champions Leagues are always the biggest trophy. So for season 10, we wanted to make a major push for that target we have of just over 1 billion. So we've sold Sung Soo Young for 190 million, Michael Kemp for 185 million, Chris Rigg for 175 million, Fuad Ali for 165 million, Mikey Moore for 155 million, Atia Yilmaz for 150 million, Luka Vescovic leaves for 140 million, Oyer Palacios leaves for 50 million, and Giorgio Ferrari is out for 41 million pounds. We then bring in Matteo Vargas at left wing for 32 million, Edgar Clare comes in for 20 million as our new striker, and Frankie Franklin comes in at 13 million to be our new left back. And then we've completed a trade for Omari Kellyman. Giovanni Reina goes the other way, so we've got someone of around the same talent but a little bit younger. And so for season 10, we've sold 1.261 billion pounds worth of talent, spent 65 million pounds, leaving a profit of 1.196 billion pounds now, which completes this challenge. We now have the 5 billion in the bank and have turned this team into one of the best-selling football clubs of all time. And so this is the squad for season 10. It's not the best team, but we're going to give these young players a chance to really shine and see if they can do anything special and cause an upset. And to be fair, they started us off brilliantly. A Super Cup win versus Bayern is the perfect start to the season. 2-1 win, another trophy in the cabinet, and then they've continued it in the UEFA Super Cup. A 3-2 win versus AC Milan secures another trophy. I know these Super Cups don't mean too much, but they're still impressive, and any trophy is enjoyable. But as we push on, the 2033 Ballon d'Or goes to Anderson. He smashes it and is controlling world football. But when it comes to the Champions League, it was a step too far for our young lads. 26th, only 8 points from 8 games. It's a bit of a nightmare this season, but sadly this year we won't be participating in those knockout stages. And then when it came to the league, we finished in 4th. On the final day, we secured our place in the Champions League for next season. We need to finish on a Champions League title, and this is just what we needed. We didn't want to be outside of it right now. That would have been a nightmare. Now, these young lads have tried their best throughout this season. It hasn't been a perfect year by any stretch of the imagination, but Ospo, Mukoko and Duarte were the star players this season. Platti done pretty well with 10 assists, but it's been a difficult year. We've got over the line though for getting in the Champions League, and now it all comes down to season 11, and this will be the final season. Now, this journey has been incredible, but there is no way we can end on just Champions League qualification. We've put too much time and effort into it, and now we are going to change that. The board have been in touch. They've told me about a nice little twist that I told you about at the start of the video, which is we are going to sign back the best of the best from throughout this save to create an all-star team that will give it everything to try and win every trophy this season. So say hello and welcome to your new all-star team. The best of the best are here. Carneshi is in goal. Martin Fernandez and Hato are our wing-backs, with Scalvini and Kabasi as our centre-back partnership. Gray and Pavlovic will hold the midfield in a brilliant double pivot, with Bellingham sitting just ahead of them. He's back, baby, and ready to give it everything. But the brilliant piece of this team, and the highlight, is the front three. All of them have won a Ballon d'Or, so Lamine Yamal from the first few seasons has returned. Endrick will be our new striker, and Bino Gittins returns on the left, creating an absolutely mental team that should be able to win everything. And so now the team is assembled, we need to jump into the season. It's going to be a crazy one. I wonder how many trophies we can pick up. And now in this season, the 2034 Ballon d'Or winner was Anderson again. This guy is absolutely unbelievable. He is dominating right now. And so far, this group is showing what they're made of. 22 points, unbeaten in the group stages. We finished top of the Champions League group stage, absolutely smashed it. We are currently the best team in the world. In theory, we need to back that up with a UCL trophy. And as we enter the round of 16, we smash Real Sociedad 7-3 on aggregate. We took no prisoners here, absolutely killed it. What a start this is. We're now in the quarters. And next up in the quarters is our biggest rivals, Bayern Munich, and we knocked them out too. They did beat us in the second leg, but we'd already done the work in the first. We go through 3-2 in aggregate into the semis fairly comfortably now. We are going at it. Who is up next? And the team that was up next was PSG, but we smashed them 4-0 on the first leg, 2-1 in the second. We go through 6-1. We're in the Champions League final. What a season it's been. This has seemed like a really easy journey. Now we are in a Champions League final, but let's go back to the league where on the final day we secured the championship title again. The Bundesliga is ours. 78 points, taken over by Munich once again. That is another trophy in the cabinet, and we have absolutely smashed it this season. And when you look at how the squad performed, our front three was absolutely exceptional. 33 goals and 10 assists for Endrick. Yamal was smashing it with 28 goals. Gittins 23 and 9. And then players from midfield were really contributing as well. This team really stepped up this season and really made it easy for us to go and claim the title. And I mean, look at this. Endrick picked up 22 goals. It's enough for him to take the golden boot home. It was shared with Owen Norman, who picked up 22 as well. But this sort of contribution allowed Endrick to go on to be the player of the season for this year. He smashed it and was definitely incredible throughout. Now back to those stats. Jamie Gittins actually took home the top assist award. He did have to share it with Manu Kone, but they absolutely smashed it this year. 8 assists for the season. And then the golden glove goes to Israel, Verbruggen and Kobel, 9 apiece. Karneshi wasn't too far off with 7. Still a good year, but again, Kobel's right up there. Makes you think maybe we shouldn't have got rid of him. But the final thing to look at is Union Berlin actually beat Paderborn in the DFB Pokal 1-0. That's a really interesting final. Sadly, we didn't get there this season. I thought we really had a chance at the treble. And so it all comes down to this: Borussia Dortmund versus Inter Milan. Can we win that trophy in our final season? Now, the game was pretty boring until the second half, and it all livened up in the 70th minute. Gittins tried to slam one home. It only fell to Yamal. He slapped it down the middle of the goal, and Trafford had an absolute nightmare. He should be saving that every day of the week. We have a 1-0 lead, and we want to try and push on from that. But Inter Milan had other ideas. They freed it up in the box for Udogie, who slammed it past Karnaseki. They were back in the game now. It was all to play for. Could we pick up a goal to secure this Champions League final? And Gittins seemed to have spoiled a golden chance. He gave it up to Trafford, who pulled a huge Karius moment. Job intercepted, clipped it over the top, but only bounced off the post where Endrick was there to follow up. That was enough in the 88th minute to secure the Champions League title for the 4th time in this save. It is all over. That will make us European champions, and this journey has been incredible from start to finish. With you, so many interesting players, had so many interesting seasons. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I've absolutely loved it. And so here is Scalvini lifting the Champions League title. This all-star team has been incredible. We've won an absolute incredible double during the season. But that is it for the save. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. You're all absolutely incredible. If you've enjoyed this one, please do leave a like. If you enjoyed this challenge, please let me know down below so I'll continue putting these out for you. And if you have any other challenges you'd like me to try, drop those in the comment section as well. But we're here, we're done. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to the channel member, JezzaBeats318. You're an absolute legend. But that is it for this video. I'll leave this here. Until next time, I'll see you in the next one. And peace out.